China's J-35A stealth fighter was positioned as one of the country's most advanced and strategically important defense aviation projects, intended to compete on the global market with other fifth-generation aircraft. Its design is focused on low observability, multi-role combat capabilities, and compatibility with both land-based and carrier operations. It features internal weapons bays, advanced avionics, a distributed aperture system, and sensor fusion technologies. Originally developed as a carrier-capable fighter for the People's Liberation Army Navy plan, the J-35A has increasingly been discussed in the context of international export, despite its developmental status. Over the past year, discussions around a possible sale of the J-35A to Pakistan gained significant momentum in the defense media space, with multiple unofficial sources claiming that China had offered between 30 to 40 units as part of a larger defense package. This proposed deal was reportedly structured to include early deliveries by 2026, positioning Pakistan as the launch customer for China's first fifth-generation export platform. For China, this would not only mark a major leap in defense exports but also provide important operational data and funding for the continued evolution of the aircraft. However, in a recent development, the Pakistani Defense Ministry publicly denied any finalized deal or formal acquisition process involving the J-35A. Senior officials dismissed the reports as speculative, stating that no official procurement agreement had been signed or confirmed. This denial brought into question several previous assumptions in defense circles about Pakistan's intentions and created uncertainty around China's timeline for deploying the J-35A beyond its own forces. Investigative analysis of the situation reveals multiple converging factors that contributed to the breakdown or indefinite postponement of the expected acquisition. One of the core issues was the set of technical and operational restrictions embedded within the proposed transfer agreement. China reportedly insisted on comprehensive control measures as part of the sale. These included persistent monitoring of aircraft usage, onboard telemetry systems designed to report back data to Chinese defense contractors, and limitations on certain modifications or third-party servicing. These stipulations are consistent with China's efforts to protect its sensitive radar, electronic warfare, and stealth technologies from unauthorized access or reverse engineering. While such oversight is not unusual in high-end defense exports, many Western countries impose similar controls. These measures were viewed as excessively stringent. They reportedly raised concerns about the level of operational independence the receiving country would retain after induction of the aircraft. Specifically, the conditions could limit mission autonomy, constrain tactical flexibility, and introduce a permanent layer of foreign oversight into national air operations. These factors likely contributed to a broader internal reassessment of the aircraft's suitability for the Air Force, both strategically and technically. Another major factor influencing the decision was financial feasibility. Even with deep strategic ties and an offer rumored to include steep discounts, the overall lifecycle cost of adopting the J-35A was considered high. Integrating a fifth-generation platform involves not only acquisition costs but also the establishment of maintenance infrastructure, pilot retraining programs, simulation centers, logistics chains for spare parts, and software support systems. Given the aircraft's stealth configuration, these requirements are even more demanding than with conventional fourth-generation jets. In addition, payment mechanisms and long-term credit terms appear to have become sensitive topics. Concerns were reportedly raised within Chinese financial and defense communities about delayed payments or over-leveraged defense financing, especially in the context of previous arms deals. The perception of elevated financial risk may have influenced Chinese policymakers to attach tighter conditions, further complicating the negotiation process. For China's defense industry, the absence of a confirmed foreign buyer at this stage is significant. Export orders often play a key role in the financial and strategic development of large-scale defense platforms. In the case of the J-35A, anticipated foreign sales were expected to generate revenue that could offset research and development costs, help subsidize production ramp-up, and justify further investment in variant development and system upgrades. The rejection, or indefinite postponement, of the first major export opportunity limits that funding channel and puts greater pressure on domestic military budgets to sustain the program. Additionally, this development impacts the aircraft's international profile. A confirmed export customer provides external validation that a fighter is considered operationally credible and strategically valuable. Without such endorsement, the J-35A faces a more difficult marketing environment, especially against emerging competitors such as Turkey's Khan, South Korea's KF-21 Boramae, or even possible next-generation European systems. These competitors are seeking their own launch export customers and are now positioned to fill the perceived vacuum created by the lack of an early J-35A deal. There are also technical implications for the aircraft's development cycle. Export customers provide valuable operational feedback that helps in refining aircraft performance, diagnosing reliability issues, and optimizing mission systems. The absence of external deployments means China must rely solely on internal testing environments, which are limited in their ability to simulate diverse combat and environmental conditions. This could slow the pace of iterative development and delay the aircraft's full operational readiness for complex missions or extended deployments. Within China, the situation has sparked policy-level discussions around whether high-end defense technologies should be exported before full domestic induction is completed. Some analysts and defense officials have argued that offering fifth-generation fighters to international clients prematurely may expose core technologies to risk, place unnecessary political and economic pressure on the program, and hinder the flexibility needed for domestic military integration. As a result, a more conservative export posture may emerge going forward. Strategically, this development highlights a broader shift in global defense procurement dynamics. Nations seeking advanced aircraft are becoming increasingly selective, not only on technical merit but also in terms of strategic autonomy, financing conditions, after-sale support, and the political implications of entering long-term defense partnerships. For exporters like China, this means success will depend not only on engineering capabilities but also on aligning export frameworks with the expectations of modern air forces that demand both capability and independence. The expected export of the J-35A to Pakistan has not materialized due to a combination of technical control requirements, operational sovereignty concerns, economic constraints, and reputational risk. While the aircraft remains under active development and may eventually enter service with the domestic Navy or Air Force, its international trajectory has been complicated by these early challenges. The situation underscores the intricate balance between military technology, defense economics, strategic alliances, and national policy in the contemporary aerospace landscape.